Back in the golden era of gaming, there was one title that roared louder than any engine on the screen: Road Rash. A game so raw, so chaotic, and so downright fun that even decades later, no bike racing game has come close to replicating its gritty charm. It wasn't just about speed. It was about attitude. It was about survival. And most of all, it was about the thrill of outlaw racing with a steel pipe in your hand and the police on your tail. Road Rash wasn't just a racing game. It was a rebellious ride through pixelated highways, a punk rock anthem disguised as a video game. Developed by Electronic Arts and released back in the early 90s, it dared to blend the speed of motorcycle racing with the brutal combat of street brawling. You didn't just race to win. You fought tooth and nail, literally knocking your rivals off their bikes with chains, clubs, and fists. And yet, through all its absurdity, it worked. It worked because it was fun, because it was different, because it had soul. Let's talk about that soul for a second. The grungy, pixelated visuals weren't technically perfect, but they had character. The soundtrack slapped with gritty rock riffs that made every race feel like you were part of an underground biker movie. And those crazy over-the-top wipeouts? Pure chaos in the best way possible. You'd hit a car, fly off your bike like a rag doll, and sprint back like a maniac just to jump back in a race. It was wild. It was unpredictable. And it never got old. Road Rash tapped into something primal that no other racing game ever fully captured. Modern racing games might have photorealistic graphics, detailed tuning mechanics, and expansive open worlds. But guess what they don't have? Heart. Games today are often too polished, too sanitized, too focused on realism, and not enough on the raw fun that made us fall in love with games in the first place. Road Rash didn't care about realism. It cared about giving you a damn good time. And despite its success, despite the massive fan base, despite the fact that it was ported to everything from Sega Genesis to PlayStation, no one, not even EA themselves, ever managed to follow it up properly. There were a few sequels, sure. Road Rash 2, Road Rash 3, Road Rash 64, and a 3D remake on PlayStation, but each one, while fun, never quite captured the lightning in a bottle that the original had. After that, the franchise just vanished, forgotten by the industry, but never by the fans. Over the years, there have been spiritual successors. Games like Road Redemption try to bring that old-school combat racing back to life. And while it had its moments, it still couldn't match the sheer anarchic energy of the original Road Rash. Why? Maybe because it's hard to manufacture chaos. Maybe because studios today are afraid to take the kind of wild, unfiltered risks that Road Rash took. Or maybe, just maybe, Road Rash is one of those rare games that was a perfect product of its time, a lightning strike that can't be recreated. But that doesn't mean we don't want it back. The cult following around Road Rash is real. To this day, gamers are modding, remastering, and reviving the old games just to relive that pure, undiluted mayhem. There are Reddit threads, YouTube retrospectives, fan-made remakes, all fueled by the same belief. That Road Rash was something special. And maybe that's why it hurts that no major studio has stepped up to bring it back properly. Imagine what a modern Road Rash could look like with today's technology. Keep the combat, keep the madness, but throw in a killer multiplayer system, dynamic weather, destructible environments, maybe even some story elements. Not gritty realism, just gritty fun. And throw in a customizable metal soundtrack to keep that rebellious spirit alive. But until that happens, if it ever happens, we'll always have the original. We'll have the memories of brawling down the highway, outrunning cops, smashing rival racers with chains, and laughing through the madness. Road Rash wasn't just a game. It was an experience. It was a statement. And in a world of corporate-safe, microtransaction-filled racing games, it still stands as a reminder of how much fun gaming used to be. So here's to Road Rash, the greatest bike racing game ever made. A legend that refuses to be forgotten, and one that, decades later, still rides circles around the competition. If you've ever played Road Rash, I want to hear from you. Drop your best memories in the comments. Tell me your favorite weapon, the craziest crash you had, or the one race you'll never forget. And if you've never played it, well, Maybe it's time you fired up an emulator and saw what all the hype is about. Don't forget to like this video if it brought back the nostalgia. Subscribe for more deep dives into gaming's greatest gems, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. Let's keep the spirit of Road Rash alive, one rebel racer at a time.